Why PUC?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but I know that there's students out there in our school that have been looking up stuff, things, and they feel passion to help in some way. And a lot of times, like, you face an issue and you don't know where to start, what to do, and you feel so small in the face of the huge issue, whether it be child trafficking or any other issue. So I think the great thing about Revo is that it allows students, if they do feel that burning desire to help in some way, like, it paves a way for them, and it gives them an opportunity to act on their passion. And so that's what we're giving the opportunity for PUC students to step in and lend a hand if they want, and like feel like they have a part in this. And we want everyone at PUC to be a part of this. It's not just like the people who are wearing the yellow shirts, you know. It's anyone who wants to be a part of this. That's why we're going to be outside the CAF, and like we're encouraging people to get involved. And yeah, and Revo in itself.
It's not exclusive.
Oh no, not at all. But no, not at all. So I think the great thing is that like she said, it's fluid, and like you notice that the first fashion show went to the orphanage in Malawi, everything they raised there. The second one went to Bloodwater Missions, and this one we're going to be donating to child trafficking, a lady who's taking in kids that are victims of child trafficking in Peru. So it can really be for anything. And so I think that's
so
what's
it's
so
not
amazing
just
about it.
grounded in just one
cause. No.
One cause. So it's pretty open to helping other people. Okay. Our next question is, anyone can answer this, is how is this different from, say, Amnesty International or other groups on campus that are already out there helping other communities in the world?
She was actually in Amnesty. I've never been a part, so I wouldn't be too sure.
Well, I just use Amnesty as an example.
Oh, okay.
I mean, is it any different? I mean, is it a, is it there?
Well, yeah, again, I guess, you know, Amnesty's cause is basically to promote human rights, advocacy for human rights. Revo isn't so specifically a cause. It's, it just exists to, again, like provide people with ideas and
I think I was talking to someone today in the CAF, and they were saying it seems different from Amnesty in the sense that Amnesty tackles issues on more of a political level, and like writing letters and such. And whereas this, what I like about Revo is that it seems a lot more like just go in it and do it yourself, like get in it, you know, get involved, and like not that Amnesty is not like that at all. It's just it's like different creative ways. I mean, we're using a fashion show, we're using concert, we're like doing incorporating all these ideas that everyone can, you know, get involved in. You know, it's not just one way. So like, you know, in the future, you know, anything can be done. It doesn't have to be a fashion show, but we're just using different ways.
Yeah, it's a creative way to raise money to help people, whereas I think you nailed it right there on the head, was that Amnesty's more political, and other groups go to help other things, but this is so open to interpretation, and you can help.
And it's really exciting to see people just spring to life, you know, through Revo, and just be able to exercise their different gifts. I mean, some people are good at speaking, some people are good at, you know, designing things, and basically there's room for everyone.
I'm glad you asked that. I mean, what other, I know you mentioned like other groups are doing, like in Hawaii, they did some stuff. What resources are you tapping into here for the Revo show?
Well, we have the essay. We're collaborating with essay and the Spring Fashion Show, so that's going to be a really big part of it. And I guess just, I mean, us, you know.
I wanted to say, I don't think Rachel mentioned this earlier, but we are the first campus Revo. And so that's so exciting in itself. Like other ones have been like, Vegas, Nashville, like citywide.
There's a Revo in Vegas?
Yeah, it's everywhere. So like, I think that's...
like gamble your way to helping the community?
I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. But I just think it's so cool that PUC is the first campus Revo. And like there's, Rachel was mentioning this in a meeting before, and we have resources that we can tap into that like you might not be able to in a city. Like we get to use a campus center mall, that area, and like usually you'd have to go somewhere like get a permit to use some area like a park or just little things like that. And like you can tap into media services or the college market, and it's so convenient, I think.
Okay, so you mentioned briefly about the goal right now. Could you go ahead and restate that? Maybe give a little more depth into what are you doing with Revo right now? I mean, what is the goal? I know you're doing shows and the fashion show and everything, but what is the raising money and support for who?
What cause?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, do you remember David Batstone that came for Colloquy last quarter? No. Sorry. He started the Not for Sale campaign, and that's basically like taking a stand against modern slavery today, because a lot of people aren't aware that it still happens. And so there's a campaign that he specifically started for a lady named Lucy in Peru, and she's been taking in street children that basically have nowhere to go, and they're scared to death to stay in the streets at night because either the government, like the police, actually are trying to remedy this problem of street kids, so they'll take them, or like they just disappear and like they don't know where the kids went the next morning, or they're being targeted by sex traffickers, and I don't have to explain too much about that, but you can imagine what happens to the kids. So this lady took it upon herself to house these kids and try to give them an education, a chance at life. And she's been actually housing the kids at her office first, and then rented buildings, and like she just can't sustain herself this way. She doesn't have the resources. She's doing such an amazing thing, but she just can't continue for much longer. And so how PUC is going to help, hopefully, is through the fashion show, through the concert, through the spring sale, we'll be able to raise some money. Anything at all will help, So to help this campaign and hopefully ultimately build a house for the kids.
Nice.
And so that's how it applies to us.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing how this goes. Now, before we go, could either of you just go ahead and say those if people want more information, the websites?
Okay, we have our Revo PUC MySpace. Okay. So that's simply www.myspace.com/RevoPUC, REVOPUC. And then there's also the main Revo website, which is a great resource. It's startarevo.org. Startarevo, STARTAREVO. And then we also have the Not for Sale website, which is notforsalecampaign.org. So there's a lot of good information on there, just simply about human trafficking in general.
All right, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Rachel and Grace.
Thank you.
And thank you once again for tuning in. We hope to see you next time.